Hey y'all, it's Carly. I've got a new video for y'all today. It's something that I actually shot last summer, but just didn't have the time to edit. Things got a little crazy last year and I just needed to take a step back from YouTube, but everything's calmed down. All my stores have been doing great, so that definitely was not the problem. But I am back and I'm ready to share some new content with you guys. As always, please like, subscribe, and leave me any comments of anything you'd like me to cover, and I'd love to check it out. So here is that video, and let me know if you have any thoughts. Hey y'all, it's Carly. Today I'm going to take you through one of my ad accounts and show you the Facebook ad strategy I'd use if I was starting a new store today. I'll also be giving you some helpful information that I've learned along the way that I have not seen shared on YouTube before. And this stuff has definitely helped me build my stores, and I think it'll be really useful for you as well. And if there's anything that you've learned or found helpful during this video, make sure you like and subscribe so I can keep making content for you guys. All right, now let's get right on into it. All right, so we are going to be using the ad account that we set up for the 72-hour challenge, and I'm going to go ahead and delete all the old ad sets since they were $100, and we're just going to be doing $10 ad sets. For beginners, you definitely want to be doing $10 ad sets, not $5, not $2, $10 is right where you want to be. And if you haven't already seen that 72-hour challenge video, make sure you check it out since there is a lot of good info in there. Now, inside of our campaign, we're going to create our first ad set. And we're just going to go ahead and name that AS1 for now. And the ad will be named as Ad1 for now as well. So we're going to start our first ad set, and we're going to make sure our pixel is set to the right pixel, and make sure our conversion event is set to purchase, and make sure you leave dynamic creative off because we're just not going to use that right now. We also aren't going to be using an offer either, so you can just leave that off as well. We are going to set our budget at $10. And for our start date, we're going to set that as midnight of the next day. So that's going to be 12 a.m. Pacific time of the next day. We're not going to set an end date, and we're also just going to go ahead and leave those ads running all the time. So now we're going to build out our target audience, and we're going to uncheck detailed targeting expansion. You really don't need that early on, especially since we're just going to be testing pretty broad interests right now. You can also leave languages to all languages since we're just going to be targeting in the US. Since there's a lot of bilingual people in the US, you really don't want to exclude them. So now we're going to set our detailed targeting, and for this example, we're going to do pets at home. And we're just going to leave placements on automatic placements. So we're just going to let Facebook figure out where our ad should be displayed. And for location, make sure you select people living in this location because you don't really want to get those people who've just traveled there for fun, and you might not be able to ship to them. And we're going to make sure to exclude the interests Wish, drop shipping, AliExpress, and Alibaba. And that's it for the ad set. Now we're going to do the ad creative. Now you're inside the ad creative, and we're going to make sure the identity has the correct Facebook page. You don't have to link your Instagram if you don't want to. It just kind of depends on if the product is super Instagrammable or not. So for the ad setup, we're going to leave it as a single image or a video, and we're going to go down to the ad creative and add a media. And once the video is uploaded, you're going to put in your primary and headline text. And for this one, since we've already done it, I'm just going to copy and paste what we've already done in that 72-hour challenge video, but make sure you come up with some solid primary text since that is the most important part. And then you're going to make sure you get the URL directly from your product page and paste that into your link field, and then change that button to say shop now. And then you are done with your ad creative. So make sure you hit publish and then just wait for that to load. So now that your ad set is published, you're going to want to get to the campaign level and change that to a CBO campaign. And CBO just stands for Campaign Budget Optimization. And what a CBO will do is it'll let Facebook decide what's doing the best so you don't have to constantly watch your ads. And make sure your budget, since we're going to be spending $10 on each ad set a day, we're going to set our CBO budget to $50 a day. And now we're going to save those changes and get back to the ad set level to look for the ad set spend limits. And you'll want to expand that by clicking show more options and then check the ad set spend limits and set the daily minimum to $5. Now, this will guarantee each ad set sees at least $5 worth of data from Facebook, and Facebook will decide what to do with the rest of the money. For this product, since we're selling it for $50, you're going to want at least $25 worth of data before you can make any decision on your ad set. And this will guarantee that the CBO gets enough data to each ad set in 5 days or less. Now, this is something I've never seen on YouTube. I just kind of stumbled upon it myself, and now I do it for all of my ads. You're going to want to make sure you do it before the next step because you're going to be duplicating this ad 4 times, and it'll just save you from doing this each time. And that's by going to the ad creative level, clicking the 3-dot button up at the top right, and then going to more options in managing Facebook comments. And then you can be the first comment on your ad, and that way it encourages engagement from customers. Make sure you like your ad and say something like, "Last day for our flash sale, don't miss out." And then you can add a GIF or something that relates to missing out. And I just used this cute little panda for this one since it's an animal product and I thought it might relate pretty well. So now you're completely done with this ad set and we're just gonna go ahead and publish it all. So now you're back at the ad set level and you're just gonna go ahead and highlight it and click duplicate. And you're gonna set that to duplicate 4 times. Make sure you leave the show existing comments button on as well. And now it's just a matter of changing the interest for each of the 4 new ad sets. And that's just the only variable we're going to be testing. So on the first new ad set, we're going to go to the detailed targeting section and we're going to use suggestions to figure out what our 4 new interests will be. And for the first new ad set, we're going to choose dog health. For the second, we'll do dog behavior. Third, dog grooming. And for the last one, we're going to choose a store that you think would sell the product you're selling. So for this, we'll just use Petco. And then you'll click publish and make sure all the ad sets are set to scheduled. So this is a question that I get all the time, and it's just when to cut ad sets and when to let those ad sets continue to run. Before you make any decisions on any ad set, you want to at least have your product cost in ad spend on that ad set. So for this example, our product cost is $50, so we'll need at least $25 worth of data before we make any decision. And with how we set up our CBO campaign, that means we're guaranteed to have at least $25 worth of data in 5 days. So that should be your firm deadline on any ad set. A common question is what metrics to look for in this. And I always say purchases. I mean, that's what you're looking for, right? You want purchases. You'll hear from other YouTubers a lot about CPM, and CPM is just cost per 1,000 impressions. And in my opinion, it varies a ton, so it's very hard to make any decisions based on CPM. So at this early on, you should just go ahead and ignore it. Cost per click is important for future success, but this early on, you can get away with a high cost per click as long as you are having purchases, because again, purchases are the only thing that really matter here. So just to go over a few situations here, first we're gonna cover if you are having no sales. You have low add to carts, but your cost per click is under 50 cents. That just means your ad creative is likely good enough because otherwise your cost per click would be much higher. You'll also want to check the product description because most likely that just means your ad creative doesn't quite align with how you're describing it on your store. And there's always the chance of your product just being too expensive, but just make sure you're at least 2 times over what it costs you on AliExpress. Another situation would be, say you have no sales, but you have a really, really high add to cart. And that to me just usually screams user error. So make sure you can actually purchase your product from your site. And to do this, you can create a 100% off coupon in the discount section of your Shopify admin. And you have to make sure your offers align also. Like if you're offering free shipping and 50% off in your ad and come checkout time, the customer is being prompted to pay for shipping, then they will definitely back out and abandon cart because that's not what they were promised. So make sure your offers are always, always consistent. The last situation would be, say you have no sales, low add to cart, and a high cost per click, and that's probably time for you to find a new product. Dropshipping is tough. You're gonna fail often, and your first store might fail. I know mine did. But just try to think of that failure as a learning experience and apply what you learned to the next store. All right, that was the Facebook ad strategy I'd use if I was starting a brand new store today. I hope you guys found this information new and useful. And again, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave me a comment if there's anything you'd like to see in the future, and I'd love to check that out. And I will see y'all next Wednesday.